What is up, everybody? Inviting people up to the floor as we speak. Nova, are you on?
Let's test. You got me?
Kevin, you should be on. Welcome.
Thank you. How are you doing, D-Rob?
Doing good. Thanks for being here. Is this your first time on our spaces, Kevin, or have you been on here before?
First time on the NFT Twitter Spaces.
Sweet. So as people are coming in and joining, we're going to try to have a big crew today. Why don't you give us a little TLDR? What do you do on the team?
So I'm a senior account manager, and I was on the Anheuser-Busch team helping whether it's Budweiser, Ultra.
Crypto Novo, you are officially on.
Microphone check, making sure this one's not going to run away from me. Can you hear me, D-Rob? Can you hear me?
You are good. I can hear you loud and clear.
I'm going to put some tunes on real quick. Then I want to loop back in with Kevin because I want to talk about how he became such a good hugger because I was able to meet him IRL a couple of days ago. And we'll loop back into that. So we're going to get some warp sounds here. It's an NFT that I own, and let's get some intro music and get a couple of our other Vayner speakers up here. I know Cool Blue's running around in New York. Awesome boots on the ground. So we'll get that going too with Cool Blue. But right now, some warp sounds to get some more friends in here. Welcome, all my aliens, apes, and zombies. Hizzy, thank you for always listening and dropping in. Don't Feed the Wolf. We're inviting you up right now. And as you're seeing, we're inviting our entire Vayner fam up on stage, on the digital stage, just like we did on the physical stage at NYC NFT 2022. Cool Blue's up here walking around. I don't know if you got the high heels on. I don't know if you're dressed in blue. I don't know if you're still in the metaverse. I don't know what's going on. We also have our host with the most, D-Rob, and Cool Blue. I just want to do a mic check, make sure that you're going on. I hope you.
I am here. Sorry, I'm in the middle of New York City right now. I'm actually at my last NFTNYC event, so it's very loud, but I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here and talk about this incredible week.
And it was incredible, epic. It was funny. You were, we had a meeting earlier today, like we always have meetings because this is a work day. And you're like, man, New York is so loud. Yes, I was able to visit New York, and I'm not going to disclose my location right now. I am in the metaverse. Alan Carroll, are you there, my friend? Are you still up at ApeFest, or did you make it out of there, Alan?
Oh, I successfully made it out of there. Shout out to Hugo for putting on a hell of an event. That was awesome to see, awesome to meet internet friends IRL, and NFTNYC. If you're not bullish on NFTs after this week, I really don't know what to tell you.
That's great. Make sure you're following him. He can meme with the best with them. I was just making sure he wasn't left behind at ApeFest. They had a lot of cool activations there. One thing I did see there at ApeFest, just to chime in while it's on my mind, is they had like cups of coffee, and they would give them your ape number, and they'd put your NFT like in the foam of that coffee or hot chocolate. And I was just making sure that Alan Carroll didn't overdo it with the hot chocolate on that. It was actually ended up being a nice weathered day, a little bit of rain, but it actually cooled me off with my tassel hat. We're going to transition over to Don't Feed the Wolf. Don't Feed the Wolf. Good to meet you, IRL, up in the office at Hudson Yards. I just want to do a mic check, and you can introduce yourself to the crowd as well, listening in here.
Yo, can you hear me?
Roger.
Awesome. I'm in the airport right now, so I just want to make sure I'm coming in clear.
And that's it. We all have lots of moving parts, and here at Vayner NFT. We are here to help not only broadcast, but get out there in the place. You know, lots of social media things going on. People think that we're out there just partying. It's actually, I mean, this is our scene. We're out there networking, seeing what's out there, trying to find the brands, trying to hear what, you know, the fans want. And that's a huge part of it, is all of the friends and fans that we saw out there. Elena, we're going to check your mic here, right here. I want to make sure that you made it back. Last time I checked in with you, we were at Boss Beauty. So how have you been, Elena?
Hey, that was a great event and that was a crazy day, but good. Just checked out many events. Went to Creature World yesterday, so I am feeling my creature today. But yeah, happy to be. It was a crazy week, but happy to be here.
Honestly, for you, those of you that are listening, this is almost like a live business meeting, because we haven't been able to really touch base too much because we have been busy at IRL events, and we're going to be able to digest some of this action going on that happened in the realm of the NFT world this past week. And I'll kick it off because I'll be a little selfish and talk about the epic stage that I was on. And it was Radio City Music Hall, where I was able to bring my friends up there. And it is about friends and the NFT community. D-Rob, I don't know if you want to maybe pin I don't know if it's going up right now, but I'm actually video live streaming now. And it's kind of a little bit of a pilot to see if this is something that people like and see. And it's actually Spaces Live. It's not on Vayner. So I don't want to have anyone come off Vayner NFT, but you can actually look at some of the visuals that happened during this week. We're kind of piloted, testing, seeing if this is something that maybe we can incorporate moving forward. But with that is having friends come in on the space. And I had the great pleasure of sharing the stage with many of friends this week, and none larger than on the stage of Radio City Music Hall. And I was able to showcase my friends' work because they got me to where I am today. I was able to help them out, create careers in the NFT space by educating them and, you know, telling them what I knew about it. And that's why I took the stage, is to tell that origin story of where I began. Is not very computer literate, and then having to format how I changed how I taught others in the form of streaming and using AR technology. So that was an awesome event. Cool Blue, go for it. Your mic, I see your mic going.
Yeah, you just made me think of something. I mean, talking about the origin story, this entire week I could not stop thinking about the last NFT in last year and just how far we've all come. I mean, everyone in the NFT space has come, and you always look back into your origin story. I'm at a Mavion brunch right now with Rebecca Minkoff, hosted by Rebecca Minkoff and Luminary, and I came just so honored to be invited. I mean, that was exciting. And in the beginning, one of the hosts from Luminary mentioned that her first entry into NFTs was with, so you hear him talking in the back, or clapping in the background, was with Vayner NFT. Me and Sebastian gave a workshop, an educational NFT workshop to Luminary back in December, and now here Luminary is hosting this amazing brunch with incredible thought leaders in the space, and they're determined to onboard as many women as possible into Web3. And it started at Vayner NFT. I had to tell you all that now that we're on this live business meeting, because it's so special, the people who were there in the beginning, and it's so special when you are someone's first entry point. So that's something that we can everyone on the space right now, not just the speakers in the community, that's something we can all be to someone. And it's just so incredibly powerful that we're able to do that at a time like this because we're early. So I just wanted to mention that, and talk about some fun events.
If you haven't seen Cool Blue, D-Rob in the Vayner DM, I dropped a tweet that maybe you can pin of how we get out and network. And like, if you haven't seen Cool Blue, she dresses as her world of women, and we're able to get around, talk to, network, and see what's going on in the space. And it's very interesting to see it from different dynamics where you're actually following their trail of success in this space. And it's validating because you're educating on the forefront of that. Part of that education being here in a minute, so you're tracking. But, you know, having that educated in the space, one of that is getting up in our office and talking about it as friends. And you had
Absolutely. And the panel was amazing. I see Namel's hand raised, so he's on that incredible panel that we had at NFTNYC with the Vayner team. Namel, do you want to jump in?
What's up, GM everyone?
Hey.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on a couple of things and like really give high-level key takeaways from my experience over the last week. This is something that I'll be processing over the next month or two, but so much learning, so many great experiences. Number one, I want to like shout out what you were saying, Novo, about the history of individuals entering the space. And people might not remember this if you haven't been in NFTs for a while, but there was this phase when every project was developing the lore of their project, the character backstory, how they originated, where the inspiration came from. And you started to see that manifest. Like if you went to some of these events, there were diagrams of, the original character designs, and the inspiration was derived. And giving people that context is so important. So now that we're, a year away from that last, I see a lot of people have been in the space for a couple of years now, just learning about where people have come from and how they're, based on that background, is that lore of the metaverse that, is going to shape our culture. It's going to shape the things that we value. It's going to promote certain ideals over others. And it's something that's really important for us to keep coming back to. That aspect of meeting people and then really getting into why it is that they're there. The next thing was the experiences. Two experiences that really stood out to me were ApeFest and the Cooltopia activation. I mean, I didn't get to see Doodles. I heard that was really great too, but Cooltopia just clicked for me. It was dense. It was immersive. I felt like they just threw every detail of it, and I didn't want to leave. Right, it was a place that I could really, spend a lot of time in, and the kids in that space were just going nuts. They were having fun on the obstacle course, the video game, and buying merch with the points that they earned from that experience. It was all of those things that we sort of theorized NFTs can do in an IRL activation. Really brought to life, in a more than theoretical way. And then ApeFest, I mean, production quality was great. The cast of stars they brought through that stage was amazing. Seeing Snoop Dogg and that was super cool. So it just felt like, they keep hitting it out of the park there, and I have a lot of optimism for what they're doing to continue to push the space forward in the future. And then the last thing is meeting with the builders. I don't want to go on too long in detail about all the builders that I met, but so many founders came looking for partnerships, looking for opportunities to connect with brands, with projects, with individuals. And what they're manifesting, their ideas are just so strong and solving big problems that we've been having, and scalability and transparency in this space for a long while. And so seeing the thing from last year's NFTNYC result in products that are ready to launch, despite the market conditions, they're going to change the space for the better. So I'm really hopeful that all of these builders continue to build, that they get their projects out there. And I really think that the kind of onboarding and on-ramps they're building for everybody from corporations to individuals to come into this space and have those immersive experiences that we just had are going to be the reason why the bull run is coming back, and it's not too far away.
And it is a change in technology from that Web 2 to Web 3. And I was fortunate enough to experience it almost at every door. If anyone is listening that has used token proof for if you wanted to ape up there, because token proof, and there's no affiliation with anything, they just had it on point where they had tickets delivered, wallet integrated, and that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be old school ticket process where, people are scamming, and this is like an interactive QR code that was on point evidently throughout all of it. Another thing I want to bring up to point is how fast this space is going. We keep saying NFTNYC last year. That wasn't even 12 months ago. That was like 8 months ago. They're again back to the dog ears, 7-to-1 ratio, where, man, that evolved extremely quickly. And a lot of the people that I spoke with were at the first one, and they said the same thing, where they're at now compared to last year. But last year, everyone's innovating, everyone's growing. everyone's outfitting, the growth in the community, and then just the love in the community as well, where it was getting into these awesome events and actually seeing the fruits of your labor and having those fruits of the labor pay off. And it was it's validating, very validating at times. Anyone else in the Vayner crew want to talk? I mean, I could talk ad nauseum. I mean,
I want to throw it over to Rayhan because he's also new to the crew. And so why don't you explain a little bit about what you do for Vayner NFT and also your thoughts about this past week?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, sound great.
Sweet. Rayhan, I'm a senior Web3 strategist on our strategy team. So I've been a Vayner for about almost a month now. It's been a solid at this point. But honestly, I went to the last NFTNYC, went to this one. And so there's just been a lot of innovation in this space, which everyone's been talking about. I'm not going to lie, I think I've averaged 2 hours of sleep per day, but it's so worth it. I have zero regrets. I've been out just meeting so many amazing projects, outside the major blue chip ones that we've all been talking about. There are some amazing projects that people have started up from just organic growth, and some of the causes they're trying to make projects for just are really inspiring as well. So I've just been really grateful to be talking to everybody, and definitely want to talk more about everyone else's experience at TNYC, because I feel like everyone's just kind of really had the best experience. There's so much to take away from where the industry is, where it's going, a lot of the activations that these collections, these brands have been able to put up for the convention itself.
Rayhan, rise and grind. I love that. And that's what it is getting up and getting out there and multitasking. I mean, the very Vayner family that's talking with you today was in those IRL events, and then also hopping on business meeting with our clients. So it's almost taking the knowledge that we gain, hence being at a conference. It doesn't matter what field that you're in and listening to, you're learning from others and you're seeing what works and doesn't work. And it's the same thing. You're at the forefront of last year's NFT NYC, and you could see that transformation, and you could see, the growth, man. The growth was just ridiculous in the amount of people in there. Was there one speaker? Was there one thing that you seeked out, or is it just kind of just go with the flow?
I think for me, it was definitely just go with the flow. I will say that there were a lot of people I met back at the first, the last NFTNYC, who weren't speaking, who weren't doing much, and now they were kind of, I found that they were speaking afterwards at some panels, or they were holding events of their own. So it's crazy to see how people just in the past 8 months have just grown in this field and really become thought leaders. But for the most part, I've just been kind of going around to different events. I was able to sort of check out a few of the events as well, in terms of crypto law, in terms of some terms, I guess, a Caffeinated Lions. They had a cool intimate pizza and beer event. Really just more about the community coming together, and I've really appreciated how, despite where you are in this space, if you're new, if you've been in it for a while, if you're creating your own project, everyone's super supportive. Everyone really wants this industry to grow, and we really see the potential in it. So it's been amazing to see everyone's positive, collaborative energy, and I think it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait till the next NFTNYC, honestly.
Well, because you're seeing the friends, and you're seeing the growth of the friends, like you just said, where before maybe they were educating themselves. Now they're active participants. If not, you're saying thought leaders in the space. Rewind back to, and don't put me in this place, please, because I've never been there, but when the first Southwest first started, I've had friends that went there, personal friends that went there for the first couple of times. And it was honestly this is Facebook. This is how you tweet someone from somewhere. And then those people turned into whomever they are today. So the same thing when we were walking through these panels, even if you're meeting someone for the first time in the crowd or waiting in line for an event, one of those 100 of those people are going to be the next Web 3.0 people that are going to be screaming from the mountaintops. Very similar to what we're seeing, with Gary Vee, high-fiving, screaming from the mountaintops about NFT, and, trying to educate others as best as they can so they can come to their uniform thoughts and conclusions on what works best for them moving forward. And it's really cool to see it and hear it. And it is like a little revolution. And we are all going to have a chapter in this history book. And it depends. Some people are going to have larger chapters, but the key is participating and getting out there. And it doesn't even have to be there IRL. I mean, you could simply follow on Twitter and get tons and wealth of information just by clicks of a button, and kind of see what's trending as well and see what's cool and popular. D-Rob, what's next? What do you think? Who should we talk to next? Don't feed the wolf. I don't want to get my hand bit. Elena was with us. We had Kevin.
Yeah, I was just going to ask an open floor question to anyone who wants to answer who's, a speaker right now is, I was one of those people where I came in for our staff brunch on Tuesday, but other than that, didn't go to too many events. I was holding down the fort at work. So obviously I've been seeing all of the pics and the videos and been posting about this stuff, but I want to know from you guys, what is the event that I should feel FOMO for missing the most? That's my big question. So whoever wants to answer first can go for it.
Ooh, I can jump in, D-Rob. For me, what I would say, the event that I would have loved to bring you to was the Monday night party, which was Nights of DGen, Vayner Sports, Swoops, Fan Control Football, and Silks, all are doing innovative work in the Web3 space. It was at a place called Slate in NYC. It was a 2-story event. You walk in, there's a slide going from the first floor down to the basement. There's a custom Nights of DGen pop-up shop. When you go downstairs, there's a Vayner Sports Players Lounge for VIPs and Vayner Sports Pass members, I believe. Ja Rule was hanging out in there, ended up being a performer. Amazing food, free drinks, signature cocktails. There's one called the Late Night GHT, but it was just a incredible experiential event filled of amazing individuals that are looking to network and learn more about the Web3 space. That would be my I wish you were there event.
You had me at slide from second floor to first floor. No, I'm kidding. Who else has another awesome event they went to?
I can jump in terms of not event that I was in, but event that I felt FOMO for. So maybe you'll feel the same. Yesterday I was doing a Creatures World thing, but there was a World of Women Madonna event, and also at ApeFest, Snoop and Eminem were performing. So definitely those two. I thought, I wish I could be at all these 3 events at the same time. Thought those looked really, really cool.
I'll hop in next. I've been to New York a couple times, and actually most 3 times, I think, within the past 8 months, mostly for work, all for work actually. So I never got to go to Central Park. This wasn't anything work related. This is a friend related event with my friend Trippy from Dradu. And he's in AR technology as well. He did the AR jetpacks and Dradu hoverboards. And in Times Square, or not in Times Square, excuse me, in Central Park by the zoo, and correct me if I'm wrong, New York natives, they have this roller rink there, and it's like a disco roller rink, and it was rad, man. And it was just a cool, loud party, and I thought they built the thing there or something. I don't know who has the expense for that, but it's a really cool place. And if you haven't been into Central Park in a while, man, I took my time to go over there and just walk around, and it was everything that I expected. It was cool, and that was something that I was happy to do.
No, but I love the fact that you had a New York experience despite the chaos, and I really appreciate that, man.
Actually, that was my moment, and I took a picture for myself that I didn't share, and I took the gear off, and I just took a picture for myself, sitting on some iconic rocks that I remember from probably just a Home Alone movie or something from my childhood. I can't pinpoint it exactly, but yeah, it was, and it was just step away. I had a lot of walking around back and forth, but on the same token, I had a lot of fun with just New York in general and the people and the fun around it. And it was fun when the Elmos and the Mickey Mouses, hey, you want a picture? And I asked them, hey, how about you pay me for a picture? Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be our NFTs out there having fun. There's a huge community in it, from sharing the picture at the Red Steps with yoga. I mean, there was a couple thousand people in Times Square doing yoga, and it's just it's a space for everyone and everything. And a lot of things were happening. It's a city that wasn't asleep, and I didn't get much sleep. But I had friends carry me along for the ride, that and a whole bunch of water. So Elena, we were able to meet at the Boss Beauties party. That was one. I was able to see a powerful singing performance. If you want to talk about an artist, and she was up there acoustic. I'm going to try to pull it up. But man, Kesha was just on fire, and it was networking too. Like we talked to people there, and we were working, and Tessa was there, and Cool Blue was there, and you know, and not only was it fun, but it was work, and that's all part of it. And part of that work is Kevin, just that I'm looking at you hugging me for your highlights at NYC, but that is like it's the VaynerFest to working with these great people, smart people, fun people. You know, I see tons of them listening right now. Nate Bear, thanks. You're part of that list, but I'm able to go out there and network, shake some hands, work rooms, which is important in space. And then you have people like D-Rob, who's like honestly like grinding away, like doing the social media, like click-ins. And then people like Alan Carroll, who's, you know, like the meme king himself, just like doing all the written content behind the scenes for it. It is a true team effort. And when we were up there on stage as the Vayner panel, that was one of the points we wanted to come across. We have a lot of smart individuals on our team that make up a team. It's never about I, it's about us. And if you scroll down on it's just right down there on June 22nd, it is some of the powerhouses in the industry up there on stage, you know, with Namel and Cray Train and Chris LeQuinn and Seb and Cool Blue. And there's a reason we're here, because we want to educate others and learn from others. And that was the big part of it, is learning at these events. I guess an open panel question for anyone is like, what's the biggest thing you learned from the last 3 or 4 days being there, or maybe even not being there?
I think being able to connect with artists and create face-to-face and actually having like meaningful conversations, that made me more bullish on their art in the space. And that, you know, I also noticed that there wasn't a lot of conversation about prices and the macro view. So I thought that was interesting and also a good thing for the space.
Yeah, I'll also add to that point that, you know, I didn't have much conversation about macroeconomics that's happening right now with this space, but the one thing I definitely got out of the event whole week overall is that we're just getting started, I think. Like, there's just so much that's happening in this space. People are coming into it. People are really supporting other projects. Now, other projects are actually getting a chance to collaborate and innovate in their own way. And they're creating some really beautiful projects and activations in this space. So I'm just excited to see what's happening, what's going to happen in the next 6 months, maybe 6 months, like 2 months. I think there's a lot of energy that's coming out of NFTNYC. I think it's going to spark a lot of great work to come out of it.
Agreed, and I'll double tap on that too. There are just so many conversations going around about how to best utilize smart contracts and the transparency and power that NFTs and Web3 can give that are going to generate more loyalty for these brands and Web3 native projects that I'm just so excited to see come to fruition in the next few months.
Yeah, I love hearing that, because, you know, something that I always try to push here is, you know, this is where we are, this is where we were, but where are we going from here? And both of you guys just addressed that, you know, coming together IRL, we can do anything over the web, right? Like we together, we learned that during the pandemic and lockdowns, but when we're able to come in real life together, it just kind of like goes into another whole nother level, right? We become more of a family. And so just being able to spark ideas and start building from here, you know, the moon is not even the limit, right? Let's go past the moon. Let's go to Mars or something. When Mars. But it's so cool to hear and see like all the stuff that's going on from here. And so with just, you know, we're basically at time that we have allotted for this, but if you guys have one last for next NFTNYC, what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking forward for more people to participate. We had a ton of interaction, ton of participation. I just think that was from 8 months ago to now. I mean, the numbers of speakers, the numbers of hotel rooms sold, the numbers of parties exponentially have grown. I mean, there's a reason, because one, it's fun. One, people are growing the space naturally, organically, and growth. And that's what I'm seeing.
I probably will say, I think there were already a lot of them. I think there's more, like definitely more IRL activations. Like definitely just try to find ways to like integrate. It's an NYC. Find ways to integrate like all different layers of different types of tokens in the NYC sort of landscape, and see how we can really make the experience more interactive, more sort of just overall better. I think so far, like, there's just so much to take away from it.
Sure, just like, I thought the events really crushed it, and what I think really do that was they looked at like last year, like what did they learn, and then they put it into practice this year. So if you need to do that, 23, I think the events will continue to be even better and better. So.
Alan, I do have a question for you. I saw, someone minting a Sappy seal on stage, not minting, but buying a Sappy seal on stage. Is that your camera view right behind Cameo on the DJ set there?
I can't take credit for that footage. That was K Money or one of his friends that filmed that. But it's great to see Sappy seals are spreading to all corners.
Memeing up, meme master himself. Make sure you're following Alan Keller there, everyone.
Much love, Nova. I appreciate you.
All right, with that, I believe we are at time. So, any last thoughts or concerns, Novo? Do you have anything last to say before we sign off?
No, it is a friendly Friday. Special shout out to my family. I've been away from them for very long, so I'm going to blow off my last couple of business meetings here today. I will be at the next one because I do want to wrap up with social. So yeah, if you guys are looking for me, I'm going to be practicing the cannonballs in the public pool down the street. It's hot where I'm at, and I got to spend some time with the family. So have a friendly Friday. Thanks. I've never felt like so accepted and so loved. Thank you for accepting, that crazy crypto punk around the streets. But I live to give, and I want to learn. So teach me what you have. Friendly Friday. Stay positive and love life. Peace. Try some tunes here. What are we